Development will inevitably change Cape Roger Curtis, but it should not fundamentally change Bowen Island.
We said to the owners, look, there are other ways of developing that land. You could protect a whole lot of the land as a park and build a different kind of community than one just for millionaires. And remarkably, they did that. They proposed an alternative.
It's not a perfect plan. There's a lot of places it could be improved. There's a lot of commitments that are vague language that need to be strengthened and turned into policies.
I think that there are some council members who came in with that agenda to stop the development.
The real answer is we're really scared and reticent to make a timely decision.
I just don't feel that I have enough information to make a really major decision.
I think the APC felt the benefits and the amenities that are being promised to the community are very significant.
A lot of people aren't understanding what is actually on the table to be decided on.
I would really rather it not be developed as heavily as it is.
I think they're very concerned about their development. I think their heart's in doing it upright.
I know my dad is not just about the bottom line. He really cares. Like whatever he does, it has to be a win-win for everybody.
The community is very hypocritical in many ways, and it's sad to see this, but we want so much, but we're never prepared to pay for it.
Ever keeper of a lighthouse, an island by the edge of the sea.
They have told you what the facts are in your neighborhood plan.
There is no point in amending your plan to accommodate something that isn't real.
The price being asked for the park, the impacts that this development would have on this island is far too high a price to pay.
Time has come for a decision.
We bought the Cape Roger Curtis lands in year 2004. At the time of the purchase, we were aware of the current zoning, which was to allow 10-acre lots as subdivision.
In the very beginning, we have always been wanting to do 58 lot subdivision.
I knew about what was happening, but it wasn't all that exciting because partly my father was still deeply involved in his senior retirement community business, which to me is really meaningful, but 58 lot wasn't all that exciting.
And after we submitted, we have heard a lot of opposition.
Council came along and wanted a huge piece of their land.
We said to the owners, look, there are other ways of developing that land. You could protect a whole lot of the land as a park and build a different kind of community than one just for millionaires. And remarkably, they did that. They proposed an alternative.
They wanted something to be more sustainable and that it would have to include more housing types.
With over half of the land as a park, 81% of the waterfront would be for parks, so that all of the community would have access.
The community had input both in terms of public interest and also in the laundry list of desired features and desired amenities.
We were certainly extremely encouraged by the Trust Society in their vision of preserving and protecting the land.
And we have listened actually to the community and also to the various referral agencies.
I think they worked very hard to incorporate what we wanted into their plan.
I learned through conversations with my father at the time why they were considering it, and it was because the property is very dear and sacred to the community.
It's not a very good idea to just chop up the land into 50 or 60 lots to sell to the rich people only.
So we understood the islanders' feelings, and
we started to engage in a neighborhood plan study.
And then the municipality told us that the priority should be put on the amenity.
Of course, that comes as a price. when you take the very best land and you give it to the community, the owners had to get back the money somehow, and so that means more density than more homes than we allowed in the OCP.
It has been 4.5 years and an incredible amount of investment, way beyond our initial projections or expectations.
So having spent a lot of time and money in coming up with the expectations of the Bowen Island residents, we ended up with a comprehensive neighborhood plan, which was submitted in September of 2008.
The current neighborhood plan has been analyzed not just very intensively by our own team, but also reviewed by the municipalities referral groups, by people in the community.
Our own man has said we can't do it with anything less than that. We seem to be down to the point where we either have to give them increased density of some number, or we have to say, well, sorry, we've asked so much that you have to go back to the original 58 lots.
Having worked on this project for such a long time, since 2004, it has been 5 years. So I think we certainly have been extremely patient to work with the municipality as well as with the public at large. We find that it is quite frustrating that since the approval of the first reading, after close to 5 months now, we don't see any further progress in the process by the municipality. So we have already advised the Mayor and Council about our intention of the fact that by June 1st, if we do not have a public hearing to inform us whether the project receives the support of the community or not, we would have no choice but to revert back to our original intention of the 58 to 60 lots of single-family subdivision.
I don't think it's an ultimatum, but I think from the letter they've sent us, they're frustrated that we haven't gone to a public hearing on it. You know, when the public hearing may very well be that the majority of people say, hey, we don't want any development, at which time their fallback is what they'll have to go to. But we haven't asked the people in general what we want yet, and I'm sure they're entitled to an opinion.